Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Late We Said It, or TLWSI, as I put up in the caption now. Niggas, we abbreviating this shit now.
That's what I'm talking about.
We made it to episode 5, so I'm abbreviating it now. So it's a little bit, rolls a little bit better off the tongue. I'm your host, Sean Leverett, with my beautiful, sexy co-host here, my dog.
I appreciate that.
Hey, you're a celebrity now. We're at
That's
number
what's
5,
up.
so I give you your flowers. My dog, Edwin Nevedo. Edwin, what's shaking, Brody?
What's good? What's good, man? Another good week, doing what we do.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here with you tonight, man. Sorry about that. We were supposed to record earlier today, but I took my kids to the Great Blacks and Wax Museum because I feel like it was something I should do as a black father. So I appreciate your patience with me, dog.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. You know what's funny is these videos don't have times on them, so people wouldn't even have known that until you just mentioned it.
They wouldn't know. But hey, I'm going to be up front.
I appreciate it because, you're taking accountability for the situation, and that's what this show's about. It's about doing that and being accountable for what we do, So
of course, and what we say. And I think this episode we're going to say some rather spicy shit because we got some topics that we already disclosed. We got some conflicting motherfucking ideologies on, so we'll get into that a little later.
So this is going to get nice and spicy.
Yeah. But first and foremost, before we dive into anything, man, me and you are both football lovers of NFL, college, high school, Pop Warner, Backyard Turkey Bowl, and a very prominent player in Denver Bronco organization passed away. This was it Thursday morning, Friday morning?
It was Thursday morning. I think it was Thursday eve. Sometime he was found Thursday evening. So during the Thursday night football game is when it was when I saw it announced on the screen while I was watching the game, and then they addressed it right after the game was over.
Yes,
people were posting about it somewhere between halftime of the Thursday night game.
Yeah, it's some terrible news, and of course we're talking about Super Bowl 50 champion Mr. Demaryius Thomas passed away at 33 years young.
33.
Younger than both of us, brother.
Younger than both of us. I got a friend that's just literally just like 10 months older than him. So we were just having a discussion about that. It's just crazy. He just announced his retirement earlier this year.
Right.
And it's just crazy to see, somebody so young and nobody even expected it. So it kind of took everybody by storm. The Twitterverse was going crazy all night. With a lot of NFL players, sending their condolences and talking about stuff. His famous overtime victory that he caught that touchdown in overtime against the Steelers from Tim Tebow on that slant route, and he took it to the house. And they've been playing it. I even watched that like 4 or 5 times. Man.
It was an amazing play, man. It was an amazing play. Gone. His family was saying he had gotten a car accident some months ago, and they believe his demise was caused by some seizures in the shower, man. So we just had the Too Late We Said It podcast. Just wanted to send our condolences out. We know a lot of people pass, but sometimes, people that we all find that gravitate to the life that we live and polarizing individuals in the sports that we love pass away. It's always a jarring event. And to see that he passed away so young is truly a tragedy. So condolences to his family's friend, the Denver Broncos organization, anybody that may be touched by that, man. Just take care of your people. Make sure you take care of yourself. And that's pretty much all we had to say about that. Just pointing it out, just giving that man his flowers for his accomplishments in life.
Yeah, that's sure.
Yeah,
but we have to still stay tuned to see. Down the line, we'll probably get the full facts of everything.
What was the actual cause? Yeah,
but, there's just speculations and some things that we know that is medical issues that he was experiencing, but can't really get into it until we know everything. So we just send.
We're not gonna talk about Maxine yet.
Yeah. But we'll see when the facts come out. We'll probably jump back into that topic later on.
Oh yeah, of course. And speaking of his passing, it's a natural duality in life when one sun sets, another sun rises. So at his, he met his passing, but another young great athlete is getting some adulation and some success. We're talking about Mr. Bryce Young from the University of Alabama. I believe it's the 5th or 6th player from the Crimson Tide to win that prestigious Heisman Trophy award. Another black quarterback doing this thing, man. Proud shouts out to that young man for winning a hell of a season. We know it's not easy to navigate the SEC, let alone win the Heisman Trophy. So
and definitely when it comes down to voting for that too, because that's a grueling voting process. To win that award.
They go over everything.
The most prestigious award in college football.
Yeah, shit. The most prestigious award is going #1 to me, but getting drafted #1 is a hell of an award because that secures your bankroll. But
hey, most of the time, Heisman Trophy winners do get picked within the top 5 picks.
Oh yeah,
Of the
quarterbacks.
draft normally. You know what I mean?
Except for
top 5. Lamar Jackson is probably the exception to that rule. Is he went number 32.
I still remember the night Lamar was drafted, man. He was like, "Y'all gonna get a Super Bowl out of me. I promise you that."
Yeah,
he balling. He working his way towards it, man.
Hey, yeah. He's 24 years old, so everybody thinks that means today. Yeah, it's not everybody's Tom Brady.
Tom.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the only quarterback to see the Super Bowl that many times. He's just crazy.
And then he got his jaw fixed. He got some plastic surgery. The nigga won 5 more. Nigga, shit.
Yeah,
go get some plastic surgery, nigga.
Yo, this is crazy. A segue since we talk about Tom. Like, how crazy would it be to see if New England Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl?
If that happened, I'm gonna say
I know that both of us aren't rooting for that situation, but the way it's looking, it's something that's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Oh yeah. They both balling. I think they both at the top of their divisions, right?
Yeah, they're both leading the
Packers. The Packers are #1.
Well, in the conference, like
my
fault. Packers are in the conference, but they are both #1 in their divisions. You know what I mean? By a large margin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for the Patriots, they are 1 game ahead of the Bills, but they had to play them again. And the way they just dusted them off by only throwing, they set a record.
I wouldn't say they dusted them off now, Edward.
They did because they only threw the ball 3 times in that game and just ran the entire game. That's insane that you could do that.
It was cold,
and they were like averaging like 7 yards a tote. Yeah, it was like hurricane-like weather. So Belichick's like, we ain't gonna throw the ball, and Bills was like, maybe we still could throw the ball. That was a mistake.
They probably thought that he was. They was like, he not gonna run it again. He not gonna run it again. They not gonna run it, and they just.
I was like in shock that whole game, just wondering as much as they were getting success in the run, because it was like, it looked like every run was a first down. Damn near felt like.
That break your spirit after a while, man, and getting shocked by the offensive line. Just bang, they shock and roll you.
But I mean, that's the crazy part, is like, because they ran down the field, and at least the Bills were able to keep them out of the end zone for the most part. But they were controlling the clock, and that's why it was such a low scoring game.
Yes, that's the main thing. Bill Belichick is a freaking genius, bro. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He knew what the hell he was doing, bro. But let's talk about something that's very, it's not heavy, but it's it's weighing on my mind because of this guy's always taking shots at King James, GOAT James. We're gonna talk about the Enes Kanter, player for the Boston Celtics. I believe he's a center for the Boston Celtics. A guy from Turkey. He came over here a few years ago, and he just now recently got his citizenship. He changed his name from Kanter to Freedom, Enes Freedom.
But I think he added Freedom to his name as a hyphen. I don't think he changed it from Kanter to Freedom. Did he? Or is it Kanter Freedom? Well, it could be
Freedom on the back of his jersey.
When what? Oh, that means, what? I have a story. I have the reason behind that. Because he spoke out against the Turkish government. That they forced his father to disown him, and send a letter of apology. And his father said in the letter that he's disgraced to have a son like him, and blase blah. It was pretty bad. And they like,
what did he do? What did he do to make?
Well, he was speaking out against them because over there it's not like here we got the freedom of speech. You can't say nothing wrong like about the president. Look, you can literally just say on right here, right? You could say Joe Biden is an idiot. He's stupid, right? Freedom of speech. You know what I mean? As long as I'm not saying something that's directly threatening his life,
right?
Then we have the freedom to say that. Now, I'm not sitting there standing behind me saying Joe Biden is stupid. I don't know him personally. All I'm saying is that just me saying that
an example, right?
I could go to jail for 5 years or some shit in Turkey. So he was speaking out against them, and that's what happened because he was an athlete. He was trying to use his platform to speak out against the injustices in Turkey, against freedom of speech and expression. So they basically forced his family to disown him.
Is anybody in Turkey rocking with him?
I don't know. Possibly not. If you want to be a Turkish citizen, he's public enemy #1 for saying, being direct and being straight. So
my whole problem with Enes Kanter is I feel like he clout chasing and he tap dancing. I'm gonna say that. I know you I don't know your perspective on it as of yet, but I feel like he's going full immigrant coon right now. Like he's running to Fox News trying to get some adulation and respect, and he's taking shots at the king a lot about some shit in China, and he run into Fox News, and it's crazy because Fox News is cheering him on for his thing, but Fox News is the same people that's saying shut up and dribble to LeBron for speaking about injustices, systematic racism.
They're very narrative oriented,
Yeah. And I'm not mad at Fox News for being Fox News, but I do sort of side eye him for riding the dick a little bit over
I want to hear your perspective on that, because I do have a slight counter argument on that, just because of the fact, like, there's gonna be like what you think was there's a difference between somebody actually doing something or actually being misconstrued based on his point of view. You know what I mean? That's why I made it a point to talk about his relationship with his original country and why he became an American citizen. While that country shunned him, America embraced him. So think about that. It's like, if you look at it from this perspective. And did you see the interview that he did on Fox News where he was
with the female was interviewing him?
No, there was a more recent one.
Okay. I saw the one where the young lady was interviewing him.
Yeah, that's when he was talking a lot about China and speaking out against the Olympics and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I can see what you're saying, like what you say, clout chasing, but I don't think that that's his personality. I think that he's comparing his country and his experiences versus the freedoms that he's gotten here. It's kind of like, when you first get married, the newlyweds, he just got a citizenship. So he's like, yay, I'm an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? So he's super happy that he's in a country that's a lot better than his country. So right now, America can't do no wrong in his eyes because they just embraced him. So when he's seeing people, and I think that's what Fox News played into that. And I think that they cornered him into speaking certain things. And I think he allowed them to do that because they were like, this is a perfect opportunity. And he is wrong. You know what I mean? Because he's not from here. He didn't live here.
He don't know what's
going on here. All he knows that you're allowed to say what you want here. And the high of that is making him.
It's a new freedom.
Yeah, it's a freedom that he's not used to. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, if you're in that position to speak out on somebody and you're going to come at GOAT James, now everybody got the main thing. That's what I'm mad about, nigga, because I love LeBron, nigga. So my thing is, everybody has a shoe deal with Nike. KD, Kyrie, Mac Jones, everybody got a thing with Nike. But Fox and the right, as they call it, I don't believe in that left and right shit. It's just white supremacy and diet white supremacy, nigga. How you want it? But they are. You made a perfect point that I didn't really even think about. They're manipulating him and using him as this patsy to push their agenda to come at GOAT James.
And he's being naive and not understanding.
Or maybe he is naive, Edwin. Maybe he like is. You said, maybe he is naive.
He's naive because he's super high right now because he just escaped this dire situation. Like, this dude's family literally disowned him. He has no family now, and that makes sense now why he changed his name. Because they disown him in American citizenship, so he's super high, like a sugar rush on being an American citizen and being happy to be here. And then they're just jumping in his face, asking him questions. And I think it's just, here's the disconnect. He's completely against what China is, because China is very similar to how Turkey government is, how they want to control their citizens, control what the internet is. You have to be careful what you say. The Chinese tennis player, we don't even know what's going on with her. She
went MIA for a couple months. She was like,
she's literally she's being held hostage by that government because they know they can't kill her because the whole world's watching and knows about that social media post where she accused a government official of sexual assault and sexual misconduct. As soon as that happened, she disappeared like whew. And everyone's saying, where's she at? You got professional tennis players tweeting, where's she at? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel old girl and I feel Enes Canner. I understand that old girl went missing. She has sexual assault charges. But right now, we got this Epstein shit going on where I mean that's
yeah.
We have to eat the pie one slice at a time. We can't be all over the fucking place, or you're never gonna get shit done.
Mr. Freedom is I think he doesn't understand like the whole picture, so he's just looking at it like, you guys are endorsements with Nike, who has like the majority of their production in manufacturing in China. You know, so they're in bed with China.
Though. So does Apple.
Right.
And every nigga I know got an iPhone.
A lot of American companies do. So that means that's a very sensitive line that you have to like tightrope. So he's basically like not accusing them, but like pointing out there's a hypocrisy in, you're about social justice, this and that, and freedoms, but do you know what they do to their citizens in China? And you're in bed with them and like supporting their views by being in bed with them on by supporting Nike and this and that. So
I feel you,
but he's being naive. He's being naive about it. He's not understanding.
I don't even know if he's being naive, because he put LeBron on his shoes. I mean, it's crazy because welcome to America, nigga. This is manipulation central, cuz
all day.
I mean, he's always talking about who needs money, who need the money. Nigga, you came to the biggest capitalistic society on the fucking face of the earth talking about who needs the money. The niggas that you work for need the money. If you about it like that, quit basketball. Just like y'all told LeBron, shut up and dribble. Put down the fucking ball. He don't get no minutes either, by the way. That might be why the nigga got extra time to look up social issues. Nigga play 3 minutes a year in the basketball, score 4 points a season. I mean, it's these people always taking shots at LeBron talking about his community. If he came over here talking about strictly Turkish issues, I would have a lot more respect for him to come talk about the shoe factories in China and the whaling in Iceland and all of this shit like this. LeBron is starting on the basis of which he can understand. LeBron is not in Shanghai and Wuhan touring the sweatshops and like, them little niggas getting at least $1 a day. That's cool. I mean, that's not the thing. So I feel like once you're on that platform to have an influential voice and know that you can be passive and be manipulated like that, the onus is on the person that's speaking to take the time and go through the topics that and I'm guilty of this too, because we be talking shit. I know I'd be talking about shit I don't know nothing about, but I ain't fucking in the NBA. So I feel like if you're gonna go out there and step onto a national platform, at least inform yourself a little bit on the global aspect of what you're talking about. Not just going there, they pat you on the back, giving you that ego boost, giving you that emotional boost. Welcome to America, buddy. Here's a Harley Davidson jacket.
Listen, it's kind of interesting how they chose him and the timing of how they chose him to speak on Fox News, because he's speaking about, it's really not about him. They don't give a shit about him.
Oh,
LeBron or none of them. They're just trying to push their narrative. You know what I mean? And they put them in a corner, and that's what they do, yo. That's their job. They'll get you on the show, and if you ain't paying attention, they'll literally force you to twist your words around and make you say something. And here's his mistake, because I think that his character and where he's coming from is from a good place, but you have to watch where you step. You just walked in the door. It's like you just walked in somebody's home and then had a nerve to criticize their lifestyle and everything. You just met them. Yeah, you don't know shit about
how we
them.
Go down in here.
Yeah, right. You don't know nothing that's going on here. So that's where he fucked up at. And I think that this is how it should have went. He should have like kept the shit. Like, I have my views and they have their views, and in order for us to for me to say something, maybe I need to sit down with LeBron and talk to him about some of these issues so I can have a better understanding before you start making things like me sitting up here say, yo, I think that he should have said this. And I can't say nothing more. I could just go off what I know.
But he did hop on there talking about LeBron is stupid. He don't know what he's talking about.
Yo.
If he want to learn, I can educate you more and all that shit.
Yeah, and you know why that's stupid? Because he hasn't had more than 5 minutes conversation with LeBron. Not even. Right, they have no conversation. So it's like basically a baseless accusation, baseless assessment of somebody.
Right, man.
You know what I mean? He's in the NBA. You have an opportunity. You
for
can
years,
that
one. This ain't his first season, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he just became a citizen though, so this is why he's all being outspoken now. But
I feel like he should have just came here and spoke on his Turkish concerns. It was no need to try to also.
Well, that's not where Fox News was trying to take it, though.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So
they were
I think
definitely orchestrating that situation.
exactly. And what like yeah, we know what you like about Turkey, nigga, but what do you think about China? You know, because they hate China anyway, and as a whole,
Yeah,
it's a
what
whole.
do you think about China and these basketball players that's, got Nike deals and stuff?
You know that nigger LeBron.
Yeah,
That's how they
yeah,
came
exactly.
out.
That's what I said. And and the thing is, I think he said something along the lines of they should be more pay more attention to their freedoms and using their platforms than speaking ill about the greatest country in the world. Of course,
Yeah.
he's gonna say that.
But
He
LeBron has
just got,
even
but
LeBron has
that's, don't
already
you
said
see?
that this is the greatest country in America.
Yeah. But that's,
I
of
mean, in the
course he's
world.
right. But of course he's gonna say that, though. This dude just got welcomed with open arms to this country. Of course he's gonna try to be as
Be juiced up.
patriotic
Yeah,
as
yeah.
possible, but he doesn't understand what
The
that meant.
intricacies of the
It
country. Yeah.
made him look like he like agrees with the shut up and dribble narrative
I
by the
wonder
way
if
he said it, and that's how it came off.
I
And that's
wonder if he talked
stupid.
to any. I wonder if he talked to any other Turkish people who's been living in the country for more than 5 years and got their opinion on living in the U.S. Because I got a friend. Shout out to my homie Mert Wolf. He's from, I think he's from Turkey. He's Turkish and he moved here. I mean, and he sees everything the way I see it, pretty much. The systematic racism, the oppression of minorities, the financial hold down of people, the redlining that happened, and all of these things. But when you first come here, it's like they indoctrinate you and vet you to be like, all right, we're gonna let you in if you agree with these premises, and you can recite.
Because
They're not just letting anybody in.
they sprinkle a little bit of freedoms here and there, because everything's all like under the slide. Like, I'm
Right,
gonna give
until
you
you get in
this
it.
because I'm taking this and I'm taking this, and you got this until you say this or do
Right.
this. So
And
it's a very conditional democracy. You know what I'm saying? It's
and like you said,
the freedoms that you
coming
get.
from where he come from, this is probably Disneyland. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the basis of comparison is like huge. It's a huge leap and improvement from what he's used to. So he's just now being welcomed. So like that's that feeling. It's like you
the
just got
honeymoon.
married.
Yeah.
He's in the honeymoon phase until all of that fades away, and then he's gonna be like, shit, I said all
How
that
many
shit
niggas
about.
you done fucked?
Yeah, I said all that shit about LeBron. Now he's gonna have egg on his face.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna turn out being. And
But the
I
beautiful
think,
thing about LeBron is LeBron will be like, it's cool, yeah.
but what's cool about LeBron is he just shrugged it off like it was not. He just brushed it off like, swoop.
You're a real king, bro. I love you,
He's like,
LeBron. Not
I
like
think
that,
he
but I
even
love you,
said
bro.
he's not even worth mentioning.
He's not worth my energy.
He's not worth my
he
energy.
gets 6 minutes a fucking year. That's
but
why.
you know why? You know why LeBron said that is because he knows that he'll eventually get it. He's like, this dude is so wet behind the ears. He has no idea what he's talking about because he's so high on what he just got.
Welcome
He doesn't
understand.
He doesn't know that there's this little sneaky little underlying conditions that comes with the freedoms that he has, and he's gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Also, fuck Jason Whitlock, coon ass too. But
but I
know
don't
who Jason Whitlock is.
You said, I don't like that dude, but I'm just saying, you said he's clout chasing. And I don't think that's really what it is. I think that he's really adamant about being being a political figure. And I think that his hunger for that is what got him there. But I don't think it's all about.
I feel like though, if you adamant about being
seem that way, but I don't know, man.
If you're adamant about being a political figure, then your adamancy should take you into investigation of the true political climate.
But that's exactly why. Like, he allowed himself to get cornered in that spot, and that's what showed his night.
And another thing, bro,
stupidity in that.
A lot of people will run to the U.S. and shit on their country because it's like, I'm on free base now, and they'll say, "Oh, I couldn't say anything back then. I couldn't. If I stayed there and I said these things, they would have killed me." But Nelson Mandela was in Africa talking shit, and he took his charge. He went to jail, and I think standing in hell and saying, "Yo, it's hot in this motherfucker," that will garner more respect and more attention and more genuineness than running to your mother and being like, "Them niggas banked me over there, baby. They beat me up."
Well, I mean, think about it. he spoke up and basically lost his entire family.
Retrospectively, though, I don't think he was. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I
while he
don't know
was there, I don't
details,
think he was talking this shit while he was there.
this was part of an interview that I read that
Okay.
he was saying that he said that it cut him deep because he has a whole letter that he got from his dad, and he said when he's reading it, it cut him deep. So think about that. So I mean, I have to take him at his word. That was from an actual interview that he had that I was reading it. I was reading a transcript of an interview, and that was what I was reading when I was looking into this. But you gotta at least look at that and be like, that's substance there. There's something there to.
I discredit it, man. I discredit it because Martin Luther King stood on the Selma Bridge and spoke in the heart of Alabama, nigga, Klan land, and spoke on the injustices. And I know you saying you could be locked up and all that, but these niggas was spit on, pissed on, called niggas, bricks at, lynched, burned, maimed, castrated.
Well, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to compare what he went through
to Martin Luther King. I know.
Yeah. Because he doesn't even hold.
No Aaron Rodgers.
He shouldn't even be mentioned the same sentence for real. Because,
right. Let me calm down.
Nah, but Martin Luther King even lost his life for everything he was doing. He was trying to do it. He was trying to do it in a peaceful manner. You know what I mean? And that's the craziness about how how wicked this country has gotten,
Yeah, man.
But that's what I'm saying, that he doesn't understand that because he thinks that because what he went through, that's worse than anything. And he comes here and he's in hunting, but doesn't know all the facts that's going on.
Right.
Because just like we don't know 100% of the facts what goes on in Turkey because we're here in America is the same reason why he doesn't know what's going on here in America because he was in Turkey. So
but we ain't in Turkey. We not in Turkey.
What I'm saying. We don't know what's going on over there. Just like he can't come here and just think that because what he sees on the surface.
But he's been here for 7 years, though, Edwin.
Yeah, but 7 years. At 7 years, but what was he doing? We have to know what was he doing.
He was living in this motherfucker, or he was at Tucker Carlson house.
He was walking around with a blindfold and earplugs. Then I guess
this ain't Bird Box, nigga. He know what's popping.
Said he was walking around with blindfold and earplugs for 7 years.
And he in Boston. He done probably heard nigga more than you heard "Get Down" from James Brown, nigga. So he know what's popping out here, bro. I just think I'm at the point in my life where I am reserving a lot of my benefit of the doubt for people with special needs and for children. Everybody else, we live in a highly informative age where all the information you need is first and foremost thrusted at you through the media, and second of all, it's accessible at your fingertips on your phone. Right, exactly.
If you want to find it, you can look it up and find it.
So if he's been here for 7 years, 8 years, and found it in his heart to speak on the People's Republic of China, but haven't took the time to understand what LeBron is actually talking about through all these years, hearing them people say shut up and dribble and all of that. That's why I say I feel like it's clout chasing, because he already know how Fox News and them cats feel about LeBron. He already heard all of that stuff.
And then he piled on too.
Ooh, so if you pile on, you know what the pile looked like. If it was a pile of niggas with their dicks out, you wouldn't have jumped on it.
He piled on to it too.
He piled on.
So
that's what I'm saying,
that's
bro.
Definitely not a good look.
But we gotta see how he acclimates to the society, as now that he's fully an American. He don't have no amnesty as a what do you call the people that come here, indignitarian or anything like that? Or
but I don't think he had those kind of. He didn't have that kind of.
He was just working here, like a work visa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he didn't have the amenities that political officials. Only political officials.
Diplomats is what I was thinking.
Diplomatic immunity. He doesn't get.
Dipsit.
He didn't get that.
He wasn't Cameron. He wasn't
getting that. But I mean, because that's the type of shit. Because you have a visa. You know what I mean? A work. Right. It's like you get a work visa. And you get a passport from your country and stuff. So I know that his passport to Turkey got revoked, which affected his work visa, and that's what sped up his process to become an American citizen, so that he could stay here in America. Because once
he was in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, he was, and I think the NBA, was kind of like helping him along with that, and he
shout out to David Stern.
So I mean, in all that, I can still have to look at it from a compassionate point of view and saying, he's not without struggle, but we can't sit here and compare his struggle to, what Black Americans went through in America, because I can't sit here and say I know, because we know the history, you know.
And I know he don't know everything about that.
And he can't know all of that history until he takes the moment and start to look. And then now he's going to get scrutinized. He's getting scrutinized now. So now as everybody's digging into him, where at once he was getting praised and now he says some stupid shit.
What'd he say? What happened?
Bro, he was criticizing the shit out of LeBron, Colin Kaepernick, a lot of sports figures that have spoken about injustices and stuff.
Are they all black?
Yeah.
See, yeah. Now he
got interviewed after by somebody else because I think that somebody put him on to what just happened to him, and he was like, "Dang, his words got misconstrued and how everything was played out." He just got he got
caught up in the sauce.
He got finessed. Yeah, he got finessed, and he literally walked into he walked right into it.
Hey man, we bring this up,
and Fox News is like, "We got our presents early this Christmas."
Thanks, Turkey.
I appreciate you, Freedom.
Hey man,
and his last name being Freedom just makes it worse.
And it just it stamps the white supremacy, man. But he should have listened to King Richard, yo. We bring it up every episode.
All he had to do
is hooks and everything.
He got hooked, yo. They hooked him, hook, line, and sinker. Just yanked the shit.
Now they gutting his ass.
All he had to do is when he came here and he was like, "I want to be part of using my platform to speak out against injustices across the world." And I was like, blah. Go sit down with some of these sports figures. Call Colin Kaepernick. Talk to him.
Call Chris Paul, nigga.
Yeah, call him up and talk and have a conversation before you start talking about them on national TV.
First. Yeah.
Because then you're going to look silly and then LeBron's making him look silly by just like sitting back like, why do I even got to respond? Everybody knows what I'm about. And that's true.
That's the only reason I fault him, yo.
I'm not like a huge LeBron fan as a basketball player.
I am.
LeBron as like a humanitarian and
unrivaled, man, unmatched.
Yo, the dude is like, you can't help but respect that because he's
never been in trouble.
Yep. And he's
raised by Glorious James.
He's a good person.
Akron, Ohio.
And every time that you hear him speak and stuff, he's a respectful person, So in the end, what? His
except for when he was dancing around holding his nuts last week. Last week he made a shot and was holding his nuts.
And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had some words to say about that too, didn't he? Say he said goats don't dance or some shit.
Yeah. Sit your old ass down. Man.
But Kareem's been saying some silly shit.
Him and Charles Barkley, they punched their tickets on the Coon train. They riding into Hogwarts right now, nigga.
All aboard. He's going around Mr. Rogers' neighborhood on that.
Not Mr. Rogers, no.
Ding ding ding. Down Imagination Trail.
Welcome, friends. I'm not fucking with you, yo. Hey, look, so let's we gonna monitor this situation, man. We probably talk about this a little bit more and see how this flower opens up and see if the nectar inside is sweet or bitter. But we're gonna switch gears to a little subject that might be a little bit touchy for some people, and I think we may be seeing eye to eye on this on the main focal points on this. But Fallon Fox, a few other athletes who have transitioned from male to female have entered several different realms of the sporting world and have been absolutely dominant. Some in some cases being professional athletes prior to their entrance into the female sector, in the male sector, and doing well, moderately well to good, but then transitioning over and becoming athletes in the female sector and completely crushing birth. Women who were born assigned women at birth, and that's definitely been a point of contention from the high school to the professional level because it takes away from in my perspective, it takes away from the women who are genetically and assigned female at birth. So what you think about that, and where you stand on that, man?
Yeah, I mean it's just such a such a touchy gray area there with how you approach this from like a philosophical standpoint. But then you gotta look at this from a scientific standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, let's look at it like, look, we all want the rights to be who we are and be who we are, be who we want to identify as, and you have the right to be that. And at the same time, it's kind of messed up because it's like you want to be an athlete, but then you also feel like you want to transition, but you have to also accept that maybe you have a slight advantage, because one thing's first, MMA. Let's just look,
That's
track
clear
and
cut.
field.
Yeah.
MMA, track and field, wrestling, swimming.
Physical sports.
So far, the sports right now that are having these type of issues, at least one or two different situations where a trans athlete is dominating by, like, not even close. And the crazy thing is it's not even close. So it's like, how can we navigate this? Because this is a new area, to try to navigate this, because it's got to be fair for everyone. You know what I mean? So it's like, look, these women are biology. Damn, I can't even say the word. Biologically. I was about to say that. Somebody help me. The ambulance comes in and like helps my brain. They're tinkering in there. Somebody got shot.
EKG you up.
Yeah, I fuck around and lose feeling in my other side of my face.
I'm not fucking with you.
But yeah, so biologically, female, and how they feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and then it's like you don't want to disrupt what the other person's doing, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you're overshadowing. And then what happens is, can I say something? If I say something, how will I be looked at? Will I be demonized?
Right.
And then will I help people that are against this think yeah? So it's like, it causes. So what is the solution?
You're taking away their performance and their voice.
But then if we create a whole nother lane just for trans, then are they going to feel singled out? Are they going to feel like we're still outcast? I'm not accepted as a man, and I'm not accepted as a woman. I'm in the middle. And it's like, it's a very tough thing. Heavy. I don't even know. I really don't know how to even think about that.
WNBA is stammering to get the seats filled. So imagine if you had a trans NBA. That's the third level down. They probably wouldn't sell any tickets. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of different. But I talked to a transgender constituent of mine, and I tend to just let people talk. I'll bring up a point of contention, and I'll let them fully voice out what they feel. And I feel like it's crazy because they say, well, I was born this way, and that's, like you said, scientific. And it's like, you're disregarding that science. But when it comes to Maxine, and I know this is super left field, it's trust the scientists. So do you? It's like cherry picking, and I know in this society, it's like you have to plug and play certain things. But
because that's narrative chasing.
That's finite. That's finite. Scientists is. I mean, it's always evolving. It's always developing.
The data is the data, yo. When you put it down, put the scientific data that's down. You're testing this versus this, and then you got your median. You're gonna get results, and those results, if you keep doing this test. Once you do this test multiple times and the results are steady, you're going to get a result that's going to tell you something. And it's not, it doesn't lie, yo. Just like they say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. When you put the mathematics into the situation, you're going to see it for yourself and say, okay, how do we address this now?
Yeah. And I really tried to reflect on it because I don't have a problem, man. I mean, if you want to go, if you want to do that, do your thing. But then I came home and I reflected on it. As I have a daughter, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and let's say my daughter wanted to be a wrestler or a basketball player or something like that in her latter high school years, and a scholarship. Let's say Howard came through Howard University down in DC. They came through. They say, hey, man, we got one scholarship. We want one of these people from your team to join. You had a state championship team. And we're going to go with Cindy. Cindy was born a boy, but in 11th grade or 10th grade, she decided to transition into a female. Now, Cindy's 6'4", my daughter 5'6". You know what I mean? Society is telling me that I should just let my daughter take that L and send her to Towson. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
I send my daughter to Towson and Cindy get to go to Georgetown or Howard or something like that. I'm supposed to just be okay with that, and the main thing from that community is individuality, of protecting individual rights. Well, my daughter's an individual as well, and she's going to feel inadequate. You know, and she's not going to be like, oh damn, that damn trans girl took. She's not going to say that. She's not going to know.
Yeah.
Or I hope she, I'm not raising her to feel that way. But at
Yo,
the
I'm
end of the day,
feeling
I'm going to
terrible
know.
right now.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
you feel terrible about that, man?
Because not about that. It's because what's going on in my head right now. While you're sitting there saying that, I'm sitting here thinking about these scouts and coaches in college going to go to a high school where it's like a basketball game where this player might not be that great on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just on the cusp, but they're like, but if I go to him and say, hey, when do you think about transitioning to a female? We'll get you
This
in the
nigga,
W.
yo, Edwin, real life Joanna, man.
Yo, the shit's crazy because I'm thinking about that, and it's because I'm saying there's a sick motherfucker out there that would actually probably proposition someone with that shit. And that's what it's like, yo, and man. I'm trying not to be funny and shit, say shit, but man, my head always goes in different directions when I'm thinking about all the possibilities.
Read the title. Read the title show right there, bro.
And it's just crazy because then you look at it, your daughter working so hard.
Yeah, I got her in camps.
All her efforts are slighted.
Slighted, bro. Now that's not saying that she won't flourish and become great and be good at Towson. But what if she had a heart set on that? What if she had a heart set on UConn? And then they do that. And also, how are the universities? Is it any transgender women playing in college basketball right now? I don't even know.
I'm not even sure right now.
Before I use that as an example,
because
I'm getting my Enes Freedom on.
Hey, because right now the sports world is kind of like really
iffy
struggling. We're trying to navigate the situation. Track and field already had a situation where to disqualify somebody because they looked at it like, okay, we can't say because you're trans, so they looked at it like, let's just try to say testosterone levels. So your testosterone levels are way higher than it should be for a woman. Mm-hmm. So they disqualify for that. So now they use scientific. So now at least that's a way that they're kind of like trying to float that little line.
But they can't test fast twitch muscle fiber and things like that. Like, wasn't it the Nigerian women that were running track? And they said they disqualified. Is that what you're talking about? The two Nigerian women, they disqualified from the track because they had the testosterone level, but they let the transgender individual compete. Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, like, genetically, for the most part, men have stronger, brute force than women. Yeah. So things like track and field, like you said, shot put, you wouldn't let Zion transition and then go to the. I mean, even though he's 500 fucking pounds, you wouldn't let Zion do it because it'll be thunderous.
Because
and some people do that intentionally too, to dominate another sport. Let's not act like it's all innocent here. Some people will intentionally do that for the money and the fame, and then transition back. That has happened a couple times.
For real? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. After their careers over.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then also in MMA world, there was a transgender that was
Fallen Fox.
Yep. And so I mean, all these things happen is and you try to give them a chance when you start to realize, hold up, wait. Because it goes by weight class. So it's saying, okay, that shouldn't be too much of a big difference because it's by weight class. So if they're the same weight, it should be all right. But then you start to see where the genetics start to show you the differences. You know what I'm saying? Now, given there is women out there that can destroy your man, like Amanda Nunes.
Oh,
like
she's about to smoke with Amanda. I want zero smoke with Amanda.
Yo, we could be the same exact height, same weight, and I still be like, you know what? You got that.
Baby. Yeah, you can run all my shit. Here go my wallet, Social Security. It's curtains for me. Yeah, because Amanda will put you in your pockets.
But that's also just shows that there's also exceptions to the rule, as there always has been. Just like men, we see men athletes that are great, and then we see those ones that stand out that you just call them the freak of nature, which used to be a negative, but now when you say, hey, this is a guy's a freak of nature, it's a compliment. That means that he's one of one in like genetics, like like Jadeveon Clowney when he was first coming out of the draft, his size and weight, and how fast he can run. And then now we're seeing players just like him, same size and weight, just starting down
DK 40, Metcalf.
High 40 speeds. And
when you said freak of nature, I heard Chris Collinsworth in my head say that shit. Like, he's just a freak of nature.
Freak of nature. but that just goes to show that those are the exceptions to the rule. But then when you're looking at it as a whole, the genetics are not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When you're putting them two equal individuals, male and female, there's gonna be a genetic advantage in strength and stamina. Is because just that's how we're genetically designed. You know what I'm
And just
saying?
for clarification, man, we're talking about just sports. We're not talking about corporate
Yeah.
America. We're not talking
No,
about
sports.
presidential ability.
Because it's competitive.
Intellectual, it's really it's tit for tat. We both equal for the most part. Some women smarter than me. I know my wife's smarter than me.
But the thing is like it's like I'm not. That's why it's hard for me to say I'm not for or against it. I kind of sit in the middle because in the end, it's like there has to be some kind of middle ground. But then you have to apply every aspect of it. You can't ignore something just because we want to accept. But at the same time, that's the problem is that somebody decides that they want to transition and they feel like they're still like you feel. Look, as a male like myself, I'll inject myself in situation. I'm a male, right? But I've always felt like I was a female all this time. So that means that even though I put on a facade that I'm happy being a male, inside I feel like I'm an outcast,
unfulfilled,
right? So I don't feel like myself. So this whole thing happens, and that's why transgender community has the highest suicide rate. And we think about that because it's a psychological battle, that they're going through. People have to understand that. And it's like, now I don't feel like myself. And then finally I get the courage to say, fuck this. I'm tired of feeling this way. I am going to let the world know who I really am. Now I transition. Now I try to go to the bathroom. I'm not allowed in the woman's bathroom.
Yeah, you block. Yeah.
I go to the men's bathroom. I'm going to get stared at.
Well, if you fully transition, though, you got.
Well, I'm just saying because there's a process. You can't just boom. Today I'm a male, tomorrow female.
Okay. See, I'm ignorant of that, so I'm not going to speak on that.
Yeah, there's a process to it. You can't just go first. You have to start to transition with the genetics by taking pills and stuff. So your hormone pills, and then you'll start to fill out, and then the last process is
the surgery. Okay.
Like Dave Chappelle.
So if that's so if that's I'm interested. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit because
it's a process, man. It's not a one-day process. This is a process over time that happens for a transition to occur, man. And it's like your body has to transform. So it's a full transformation. You know what I mean? But you can't transform your genes. You can only transform your body, right?
So but I'm saying if the hormones is coming into play, are the muscle fibers
I wonder, I don't know. That's what I don't know. These are where the science, that's where the details of the science kind of like is blurred to me. I don't know the full details of that. But what I wonder is, do they still have to continue to take dosages to stay that way? Because will their body naturally try to
boost the
hormonal levels? Because remember, both men and women have both estrogen and testosterone in it.
Just
what changes us is that we have a higher testosterone level and a lower estrogen level than women, and it's vice versa for women. And remember that all humans, all sexes, we are first female first. What makes us male is that Y chromosome. That's it. So it's like, that's exactly the differences. And that's why the male sperm, we're the ones that actually, the sperms with the size, that Y or X chromosome, because you got the meiosis process. Now we get scientific and you get meiosis where the two cells combine to become one. And then you get the zygote, you know what I'm saying? But that's the process. So that's the process. So in the beginning stage of our life while we're being created, it's like you're a female and then you develop into a male.
Okay. I didn't know that, man. You schooling me a little bit, bro.
So think about that for a minute. Let that resonate when they say a man get in touch with his feminine sides, because we all have pieces of women. That's with compassion, where some men are just more than others. So the balances is different. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, do you have to still take that medicine to do that, or your body just naturally regenerate? Because is it a corrective process? Like, does your body know, hey, I'm transitioned now. I'm a female.
I wish I knew this when I was younger.
I need to find out about that. It's like, like once you transition, do you have to continuously like dose to keep your hormone levels at the balance where it is, so you can stay that way? And does that also affect anything else, like psychologically? Could that also lead to imbalance psychologically, which could lead to some people falling into depression? So there's a lot to unpack there. You know, but then that also lets you know that you have to actually look at this situation with a more sensitive angle, because you can't just sit there and go, "No, you can't do this. Get them out of there. It's not fair."
Right.
But you still look at it, because you can't ignore also the women, because this problem actually is more occurring from male transitions to women, not the other way around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, no one's complaining on the other end. You know what I'm saying?
Male going to a female.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. Just it's a weird part, but when there's
except for women in Atlanta, all the women I know in Atlanta complain, ain't no good men because they all transition into female. That's the only people I know that's complaining about the other way. Shout out to all the chicks I know in Atlanta.
It's a very sensitive, man. So it's like I can't sit here, yo. I had my own view upon it at first. And the more I dug deep into and started thinking about the situations, going like, yo, think about how heavy. Try to put yourself in that person's shoes. Somebody living their life like they're living a lie, born into a lie. Think about that. It's like I feel like a girl this whole time, or a girl feels like a boy the whole time they're alive, but they're scared because their parents might not accept them.
Yeah, their friends,
this and that, so they're living in life.
Right.
Yo, bro, that's fucking insane.
You in prison.
And then when you finally decide to do something about it, the world doesn't accept you. Bro, it's just tough, yo.
I don't know, man, because sometimes I feel like, I know me personally, I never, like, my sister's a lesbian. She hasn't transitioned anything, but my sister's a lesbian. And I remember when I was in my second year of junior college, right? My grandmother, rest her soul, she called me. She's like, Sean, you got to get home now. And this is like on a Wednesday. I usually came home every other weekend. So I told my coach, I'm like, yo, I gotta leave. This is like after practice. I'm not gonna be at film study. So we shoot down there. Shout out to Lackawanna College, LC Boys gang. So we run. I shoot home. I'm like, Grandma, what's wrong? I'm thinking somebody died. She's like, you need to go talk to your sister because she a lesbian. I'm like, man, she just made me fucking run from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
This is an emergency.
He said it was an emergency and hung up.
Call the National Guard.
She hung up and wouldn't pick up the phone. So I'm thinking a nigga came in the house with the SK. I was like,
you was running red lights. Yo, you was like that song, Renee. I was ducking, running the red lights the whole night.
A ghetto law is the love that we live by.
Yeah, when I finally reached the house, she told me my sister was a lesbian. I was like, bro. I know, one, I know, and two, that's not an emergency.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't
Oh,
know.
you didn't know. Oh,
I didn't know at the time. But even I'm like,
yeah, but that's the emergency.
You just made me waste $65 in gas. That's what I was mad about. But yeah, I think that's more of a stigma and a point of contention for generations before us.
Yeah.
I even in a barbershop talk, I don't hear nobody talking about, not the fuck word, but the other F word.
Hey, man, watch movies.
I don't
listen. Watch movies from the 80s.
Oh yeah, it was like saying cigarette.
And
it was like saying water.
Yo, it's hard. Yo, I find myself watching movies that I really like, and I just like moments I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
like,
but shit,
yo,
in the 80s,
and then because then
it
you
was
feel
lynching
like
niggas.
Because guess what? It's like because you're going with the life, yo. This is how you're around this. This is how you're doing. So you become part of that culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you find yourself saying, hey, and you saying like, the F word. I'm not talking about fuck either. I'm talking about the other F word, right?
Yeah, we know.
Because that shit, flag football.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about, so you start using that word freely and openly and not understanding like the gravity that it could be towards somebody that has the feelings I was just discussing, feeling outcast, alone, shunned, and then you just and then bullying and all that shit. All that shit happens now. We address those things. And remember back in the day when you have a bully, what do? You just confront them, and you eventually confront them, or you don't. And if you confront them, you go from the least popular kid to a popular kid in school, and suddenly everything turns around for you.
If you win the fight.
Even if you don't win the fight, as long as you make enough dent to gain that respect, sometimes it
don't always turn out like Forrest Gump, nigga. You confront that bully and you might get your ass beat, nigga. It was actually a guy in Ontario, Canada. He took his bully to court like a month ago. And these niggas like 50 years old now. And he took the nigga to court from high school. Like, you put my head in the toilet, you son of a bitch.
No way. When they were kids. There's
like
no way.
Grade.
You gotta let me see.
And
that.
the judge was like laughing. The stenographer chick laughed. I'm gonna send you the link. But I always bring up a point with this. today, and they talk about kids was bullied, and that's why he shot the school up and all of that. But
Yeah,
I look back to Birmingham, Alabama, yo.
Bullying was a regularity, man. That's
Back
just
in the
like
day,
that's just
bro. And the young, I always think about the first girl to enter integrated white schools, man, and the bullying that she had endured. She had to get walked into school by state police. And it's rows of people on either side. You dirty nigger, spitting on her, throwing eggs, and she never wavered. She never. I just wonder, why is it now that bullying has, and I think I know why. It's because social media is everywhere.
Yeah. It's created a different. Look, because the whole
there's no safe haven.
There you have nothing, because you can't escape it. And then there's another element to it. I think it's a psychological warfare. You know what I'm saying? It's another element. So you might get the physical bullying, but sometimes that psychological bullying might damage you heart more, because just like you said, you just get bruises and bones and stuff, bruises and bones. And then
she was
they
getting
heal.
psychological bullying too, though.
Yeah. She was getting
hundreds
it from
of people
every
calling
angle.
you a dirty nigga, your hair's nappy.
But the crazy thing is, once you go home, you're in your safe haven. Now you can't face away. You look at your phone, and that bullying's continue, or they're sending pictures and doing that. So I mean, there's another element to it, and also how kids see themselves. The world is being seen through a different lens with kids today.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't understand them kids because we only understand our childhood.
We was right in the sweet spot. We was right in the sweet spot.
We was right
after racism and before social media. We was like right there. Well, I'm not gonna say after racism.
Well,
but
it's after public racism, because now racism.
I ain't gonna say that either, nigga. I ain't gonna say that either. But I'm gonna say, we
after
spit on you and call you a nigga racist.
Yeah. We're after they accepted.
I ain't gonna say after accepted racism either, because the Proud Boys and the Klan is still on the turf. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's a different level. It's a different level now.
Who's the nigga from Harry Potter? They wouldn't say his name. What was this? Harry Potter? They was like, we're not gonna say his name.
Oh yeah, Voldemort.
Yeah, we was between Voldemort racism.
He who shall not be named. Hey, chill, you can't say it. So matter of fact, instead of Voldemort, we gotta say, the term that cannot be named.
Oh yeah, he who shall remain nameless.
Yeah, he who shall remain nameless. Who's in the sweet spot?
It's crazy, bro. Hey, but let's to anybody who's watching this, man. Transgender, it's too late. We said it. Nah, it's weird. We're both speaking on this from an ignorant but information seeking point of view. We're not saying that it's supposed to be one way or another. We are just viewing your plight from our seat, and we're both open to dialogue and discourse and to hear your points, because I feel like in our world it's either you agree with me or you're a piece of shit. Like, people don't have any room for education anymore, any tolerance for educating the ignorant. And I feel like that's why I feel like society has sort of stagnated a little bit, man, because people don't, if you're wrong, you got too much pride to say, yo, I'm wrong. Teach me the way. People, when they find out they're wrong, they just shut down and run away. I'm wrong 60% of the time, but it's in my journey of learning. And you too, Edwin, man. We discuss a lot of things off air, that we educate each other about, man. But just to the people of the LGBTQIA community, man, I got a lot of homies in the LGBTQIA community that I love, and I got a lot of admiration for. So holla at your boy, teach a nigga something.
Yo, I give you mad respect for. I got mad respect for.
See, I rattled that off
so quickly without being tongue twisted. Yo, I
my sister be on my ass.
I think I can't get the G without being tongue tied. I have to literally pause.
You Spanish, nigga. That should be perfect for you, nigga. Salsa. You should be able to say that shit perfectly, nigga.
Well, that's naturally because I grew up talking like that.
Sazon.
Sazon. Oh yes, remember how you said salsa? Man,
salsa.
that. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He was like,
that was racist.
You eat salsa, you dance salsa. Remember that?
Salsa. Hey, but let's talk about something else that's pretty pertinent that could have greater effect than sexism and racism, and that's the fucking potential end of life on this fucking planet, and the transition and the migration and the actual investment in the new great space race. Now we're not just trying to send Splunk in and trying to get on the moon first. There's been a concerted effort to colonize and explore the universe, to find other places for us to get the fuck out of here to once we deplete the resources and bust down this great place called Earth. Led by some of our most headstrong billionaires in the world, and also by a couple shadow government entities in China and Russia and these places that dump a great portion of their GDP into space exploration and space development. Space development is a term that's getting new. Everybody made fun of Trump when he made Space Force, but nigga, it's starting to come to fruition that we're gonna need that shit sooner than later.
Yo, there's literally a Netflix show, I think, that about that Space Force.
Space Force, nigga. Where's Space Ghost?
I swear, I started watching. They made a whole show about that shit.
It's crazy, man.
It's a comedy, yo, about it, like kind of making fun of, like loosely making fun of it, but actually semi-serious. I can't remember if it was on Netflix or not, but I was watching it like, yo, is this for real? Like somebody made a show about this shit. But yeah, here we go. Space exploration. It's kind of been, look, it's kind of funny we're speaking about that, and look, my background is basically space. So it's like I've always been fascinated with space, always wondering and curious about exploration of space and stuff, although I've never gotten the opportunity to fully get knowledgeable about it. But just knowing that, it's like there was a gap in time almost, right? Where it was a race to the moon, then we get to the moon, and then after that, it's like nothing. Slowly but surely, nobody talked about space again. But that didn't mean that wasn't still happening. We got satellites in the sky. Us being able to do what we're doing is because of space exploration. These are satellites that's bouncing off these signals from satellite to satellite and sending it around. That's what created a network
instantly like that.
That gives us cell phones, World Wide Web, everything. You're seeing everything from space.
Right. Yeah, man. Beaming down. So, when I think about that, I always think about that excerpt from Willy Wonka when they made my nigga Mike TV go up and come back down and shit. I was always fascinated by that.
Imagine if you could travel the same. Imagine if you could travel that way.
Particleize, and I mean that's what teleportation.
They tried that. They tried that before, and Jeff Goldblum became a human fly. Remember that? The teleportation.
This nigga.
Remember when he threw up on that dude's arm? Yo, but that's what he was trying to accomplish. Teleportation. And then crazy, I think he successfully did it, but a fly was in there with him in the DNA mix. And you just gotta make sure if you're gonna beam me up, Scotty, make sure there's no insects or nothing.
Yeah. You in a
I wouldn't mind if it was a spider. Like I'd turn into a spider. I love spiders.
MCP pants.
I'm not. Imagine if instead of 8 legs, you got 8 dicks.
Damn, that's gonna tie into the next topic we talking about. But yeah, man. I mean,
would you be allowed to have 8 wives? You know what I mean? Because you need 1 per.
Hey, man, as long as you're Muslim with it, I guess you're 8 dicks.
And if you're bisexual, it's like 4 husbands and 4 wives.
But you still got a dick.
We're sidetracking space exploration.
You got freaky instantly. That's the next step. That's the next segment, yo. That's coming. You reared up.
Space exploration. My bad.
Stand up so I can make sure you ain't got an erection while I'm talking to you, nigga.
Hey, something happened just then. That wasn't even me. Somebody else was saying that.
Don't poke the camera, motherfucker. Yeah. But so what you think, man? I mean, a big thing is a lot of people are saying, is that the end of intelligent life, or is that just the beginning as we walk out there amongst the billions and billions of potential planets in the millions and millions of galaxies that are around us that are more expansive than any of us could even comprehend. Yeah. So think that, and that brings into a focus, and we're not going to talk about it too much. I mean, you can say what you want to say. I'm going to leave it dead in the water, but it brings into the validity of religion. If we find anything else out there, a lot of people don't want to find anything else out there because it would shake the core foundation of what they live their life as. All the old niggas in the tambourine that's been the deacon and shit in the church playing the tambourine.
I don't think that doesn't necessarily decimate religion, because of course, if you believe the scientific theory, the Big Bang theory and everything, how the galaxy was created, how our solar system was created and everything, you believe the scientific aspects, but then you also believe the spiritual aspects of it. Understand that
you think they could coexist.
Yeah, of course, because I think that there's a combination of the two things. The thing is that we have yet to really fully understand our existence. You know, we're still trying to discover that. There's still areas of the ocean on this earth that we have not explored. So therefore, for us to even fathom that we're the only life in the universe, once we express space exploration became possible and humans was able to go into space and you see, I think that changes the view. Like any astronaut, if that's what I would like, I would love to speak to someone who's been in space, because I think once you see it with your own two eyes and see Earth from that point of view and then see out into open space, at that moment, everything should change, because at that moment you'll realize we are definitely not the only life in the universe, because it would be absolutely ridiculous to even sit here and think we're just like some random existence. Nah, bro. There's a lot more to this than that, you know, and it's just scary. It's scary to think that. It's scary to think that it's a possibility that, you know, we could be insignificant.
I mean, at this point, I don't even feel like it's a possibility, man. That the fact of how insignificant we are in the grand scheme of things is really a pillar of my life. It helps me have a lot of humility, man, because I feel like when you think that this is it and we are the tits, if you will, this is as big as it gets in the name. This is it, in the immortal words of my nigga Michael Jackson. Then it just opens up a window of ego, and it's like, okay, I have to operate in this system irregardless of anything else, because this is the end all be all, you know.
And you know, I'm all big into like Marvel and science, sci-fi and all that, so you see like some of these ideologies come from people's thought processes, like trying to process like the possibilities real. And you know, a lot of these fantasies that are created and, you know, that we watch as entertainment consuming is just ideas. It's like these could be possibilities, but it's just us thinking these things, but you never know. And the thing of the matter is that science and religion has always been combating each other. But what if the universe is a combination of the two things? And the thing is, how could we be so narcissistic to think arrogant, not narcissistic. How can we be so arrogant to think that our science is the end all be all? It's like,
the best in the universe.
Like, what if there's another Earth, like Earth dimension 27654? Right, I just made that up. But just for an example, and their science is 10 times ahead of ours, and they look at us like, man, they're a very primitive life form.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yo, we could be primitive to another civilization in the universe.
I think we are, bro. I think we are. I mean,
and we sitting here thinking, we know so much. We have the internet. It's like that's like their 1800s.
Oh, nigga, you just got on Facebook, nigga.
You just got the internet. We've been watching you for 100 years already.
That's what I'm saying,
because
bro.
we have universal we have the internet wide web. It's like
the intergalactic internet,
nigga. Intergalactic world wide web. Like,
it's crazy because I watch a ton. I actually got a bunch of shit up right now on my tabs on YouTube, but I watch a lot of space shit, man. And the way the cosmic web is laid out, it looks like a brain's neurological network. The way it's clusters and then
look at that behind me. Those are neurons firing in the brain.
So I think this Earth. I know I'm not gonna get on my Kyrie shit, but I feel like this Earth. We like back in the day they used to send criminals to Australia because they like them niggas out the way. Them niggas crazy. Get them motherfuckers away from us while we trying to live our regular life. I feel like our civilization, because if you look at cancer and look at human race, we rape and pillage wherever we are for resources. I shouldn't have said the R word. I'm sorry. We run amok for resources and we take everything, and it's just feverish. We just take it. Restoration really isn't a part of a core mainstay. Now there are some cultures who put back what they take, but I feel like whatever intergalactic intelligence it is, they was like, okay, this human race is crazy. Throw them in that Milky Way galaxy over there and just leave them the fuck alone, because the radio waves and all the shit we send out there, if there is a higher intelligence society, they're seeing the Lucy show that we put out, and they watching Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. And they're like, these motherfuckers is crazy, bro. Keep them motherfuckers over there, bro. That's how I feel. I mean, it really does, like you said.
We're the outcasts of the universe.
We the outcasts of the universe, bro. I really feel that way, man, because we have yet to comprehend just taking care of each other, man. I don't understand why materialistic shit is just so high fashion,
and then these billionaires are already looking for solutions outside. It's like, we need to find another, and then only a select few is gonna go. It's like, we're gonna be running to these shuttles, fighting each other, clawing at each other, trying to get on this, like, this new millennial Noah's Ark, so to speak. So let me in. Only one of every sex. Like, no. It's like, but I'm transgender.
It's gonna be that meme where they don't know what button to press. Yes or no. Yes or no.
I keep throwing some fucked up jokes out there. I need to stop.
That's all right, man.
But no, I'm just saying, like, it's
not malicious.
It's not malicious. But yeah, yo, I think about that all the time. It's like, and I think that that doesn't deter religion. It actually enhances spiritualism, in my opinion, because then it further shows that there's a cosmic value to belief. It's not just about science. It's not just about faith. It's about actual data that's out in the universe that we don't know about. And that's the whole point. It's like, you're not supposed to 100% fully comprehend your spirituality. That's why faith is what it is.
It'd be a hell of a lot better if we could, though, bro.
Faith ain't nothing that you touch, but I just know that in the course of my 40 years in my life, a lot of things that's happened in my life that's unexplainable, that's, whether it's been negative or positive, has led me to different positions in my life. And I can't sit there and ignore it and say, yo, had this not happened, I would have been here. This not happened. I was just talking to my cousin earlier today. I had a family incident where, I almost assaulted somebody in my family that probably would have altered the course of my life. And just by the grace of God, my father was able to stop me from committing that act. And had he not done that, I probably would have never went in the army, because I would have probably went to jail instead, and I would have just been a whole different type of human being. And it's crazy is that it was like an instant, one decision can alter the course of your life. So when you end up where you are, it's like, yo, that's crazy, because people's even been incarcerated, and a good friend of mine, Tia Hamilton, you know what I mean? From Tia. Uncut, yo, she got the Urban Reads bookstore. Yo, she's an amazing individual, and she represents somebody that she's had, her path has gone in different places, and where she's at now is above anybody that's could have even tried to live a straight and narrow. Like, she's been down and up, and then she's a greater person because of it. So it's like, you can sit there and go, all the things that's happened in my life that I regret for you, it's like, this is who I am, though. This very me being sitting here could have been different just by any few little things that could have happened, like little microcosmic decisions that I made could have altered, like from me leaving 30 seconds sooner than I could have, and I was caught in this full car accident. So, yo, this is what to me spiritualism is. It's like, it's the unexplainable occurrences that happen in our life that goes through that, any time, any place, something can change anything and everything. And sometimes, that's what,
go ahead.
But yeah, that's space.
Yeah, that's space. But I feel you on that. But when I look at space and then religion, I try not to base it on anecdotal experiences. I try to look at it on the broader spectrum. So when I see somebody say a certain event changed my life and put me in this situation, I'll think, okay, that worked for you, and that panned out fine for me, even in certain situations. I'll be like, oh, thank God. And that's just a knee-jerk reaction that we all say, thank God. But what about, what happened to the Jewish people in the Holocaust? Where was any religion or greater power in that situation, where a mother, a son, a father, a grandmother, and an uncle were all burned together? Where's the cosmic justice in that? Where's the
remember who did that? Humans did that to other humans.
But God is all
You know what I mean?
powerful, right?
Yeah, God is all powerful and all powerful to give us the freedom of choice. It's like it's not the freedom of interfering with what we do. If you're given a gift of life, you do what you choose with it. But at the end of your life, you shall be judged for the way you lived.
Mm-hmm.
It's the choices that you make. You know what I mean? Someone made a choice to do that to that family. Somebody made a choice to follow the dictator and the malicious leader to live that type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that's why it also says beware of false prophets. You gotta follow, you have to be careful who you follow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even the worstest of people can be the greatest of people. That's what I just said. Like, you know, there's people that's been incarcerated come out and are better people than people that's never been incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you
Because
know,
of the
that's why I had to
hardship.
mention, I had to mention my girl T. Haynes, one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. You know what I mean?
She
It's
was
like,
just on a show, right? She just got some
yes, on
blow up.
TV, on TBS, yo. You gotta check
Okay.
that out, yo. You know, that where they're talking about, you know, people that turn their life around after being incarcerated, yo. And it's like, yo, she's met the mayor, she's meeting celebrities, she's going around, and she's been doing it since the beginning. Like, I was watching this, I was just watching her from afar, then got to meet her, you know, had the pleasure of being able to work with her for a little bit. You know, my life path took me in a different direction, but man, it wouldn't be nothing more than I would still be working with her if it wasn't for that. But yo, she's the most impressive person I've ever met. Yo, she's like intelligent and like probably most
Tactful.
like the most like dedicated person. Like, she puts her mind to something, yo, ain't nobody gonna stop. Yo, I'm talking about hurdles. She went through a lot of hurdles and look where she's at, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, that's just proof. It's like, you know, you can't just look at things, but everybody has a choice. You know, she could have chose
quit.
not to be who she is, but she chose to go in the direction she went, and she decided to be that person. So yeah, when we talk about where was religion when all of these bad things were happening in the world, you have to remember that religion doesn't force you to be good. Religion gives you the right to choose for yourself. You know what I mean? It's not, religion is just something that you do repetitively. That's what religion is. It's like, you know, you do this on a constant, but what do you choose to do on a constant? Do you choose to be a good person, or do you choose to be a bad person? Sometimes people are bad, then become good. Sometimes good people become bad because of things that happen in their life that make them choose differently or see differently. But
Well,
you know,
so
I don't
mean,
look at God as like he's supposed to come down here because I pray to him every day and stop a bullet from hitting me in the brain. That's not what religion is. That's not what spirituality is. It's about you just doing everything you can to be good while you're here. And then when you're not here, you hope that that's good enough to take you somewhere better. That's all that life is. Some of us have a raw deal, and sometimes that raw deal could spark the life of someone else that creates change. You know, every good and bad change happens from a traumatic event. Realize that. Someone out there says, I'm advocating for curing cancer because a family member of theirs died of cancer. So now they just led a research that found a new medicine that probably saved 10,000 lives after that. But that was one tragic event. Someone's kid got kidnapped, and then that mom took 20 years to find out, and they found out she died. But that mom created a whole organization that dedicates to finding lost children. She saves about 30 children. You see where I'm going with this? It's like, you know, it's all about, you know, what happens to you can mold you to be good or mold you to be bad, but we always have the choice to decide whether that tragedy is an anchor in your life or a fuel in your life. Are you going to make it you're going to let it fuel you to be better, or are you going to let it anchor you to be worse? You know what I'm saying? So it's just about how you take it. And I think that's really the you know, what I take from, like, you know, spirituality versus somebody saying, where's religion? It's like, yo, what do you mean, where's religion? Is that really what you take from it? You think that because you go to church that automatically, and that's why a lot of people that go to church every day see themselves above others, and that's not true either. What is that?
That's true. I don't know. That's
the whole point is compassion. Yeah, it's supposed to be compassion and guide people to greatness, not shun them because they're not how you want them to be. You know,
I feel like as a society, since the beginning of society, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of different religious practices. So, like you said, it comes down to what you do on a day-to-day basis. But it is misconstrued, it's manipulated, it's mistaught. I mean, you look at the Christian Crusades and how if you weren't subservient to the religion, then you were killed. So I feel
humans.
Yeah, but I mean, these are the religious advocates. I mean,
right,
who are teaching it.
But exactly, and
without
if they ain't
somebody
doing it right,
teaching you,
they're
you're not
false
going to know
prophets.
religion.
Is exactly, but that's why it's like, I mean,
religion isn't going to be self-endowed. If I drop a baby off in the jungle with no, Tarzan didn't know nothing about religion. All he knew how to chill with the apes and shit. He didn't know nothing about religion.
Yeah. Well, so, did you see the Book of Eli?
Yes, I did.
The movie with Denzel Washington. That's an interesting thing because it's kind of like touching on what we're talking about. One man was trying to use religion to control people for what he wanted them, and the other man was trying to just bring religion because it was a necessity. He was chosen, a blind man. So it was two different aspects of trying to bring religion back to the world so that civilization can grow. One man was trying to help civilization grow, but under his power and his regime, using religion
and manipulation, right?
And manipulation. So that's the differences, because all across history, this is what we see. We see that there's prophets and pastors and preachers that are using religions for different things. There's preachers all across the world now. They're using religions for monetary gain, just to grow their brand and
shout out
become
Joel
businessmen. So that's the problem, is that it's one thing and it's another thing. It's how you use it. And then that's all about the choices. Like I said, we all have the freedom of choice, of choosing the path that you're going to take. And even
I think that operates outside religion. That's what I'm getting at. I think you don't need religion to have morals. Like I think that who you are, you don't really need a God or somebody to tell you, hey, if you don't do the right thing, you're gonna go to hell. Or if you do the right thing, you go to heaven. It should be an innate within each other to be like, yo, I respect the fact that we all have this time on earth and you're sharing this time with me right now. It was people before us, it'll be people after us. But right now, I'm sharing this time with you and I respect your time. That's how I feel. I don't feel like you need to praise and worship and do it's on the day-to-day interactions between men like you and me and women like my wife and my daughter. That's where it's built at. I feel like sometimes the religion clouds it because, like you said, people will go to church and be like, yeah, nigga, I went to Bible study on Sunday, I went to youth ministries on Tuesdays, I went to revival on Thursdays. You ain't been here in 3 weeks, sinning ass nigga. Like that's how they treat you. Yeah, that's how it was. Because my grandmother raised me in the church, bro, and I had to do 4 or 5. I tell my wife all the time, I was at church 4 or 5 nights, and nigga, by Friday, I'm in that bitch like, oh man, goddamn! Like, and I think that jades a lot of people because in any set, you're gonna have these stratifications between groups that you're constantly jockeying for position. I'm above you, I'm below you, and it's just another construct. And then you go to church, you got the people the old women who I dress better than you, I sing better than you, I shout better than you. And sometimes that's why I be like, I might as well just go to a Catholic church where they just be like, oh.
yo, even.
But I feel you. I feel you.
Then there's moments when and that's what made it hard for me at some point where
I'm popping goobers too.
It's funny because I grew up in church, man. Like when I was young, that was a constant, and I wasn't one of those every Sunday. I'm talking about. I'd go to church on Sunday, Bible study on Monday, Bible lessons on Tuesday. Wednesday is youth.
Yeah, you be burnt out as a child. They burn you out.
This is the life that I lived for the first 12 years of my life. Until
and I know y'all don't play about that shit in the Hispanic community. It's not a game.
Bro. I knew the people in my church more than I knew the people in the church that I went to more than I knew a lot of the family members that I've still yet to meet in my life, because I see them at least 4 or 5 times a week, every week, 4 or 5 times a week. So constant, like year round. School's out, but that doesn't stop Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
Wednesday, Saturday. When I think about I'm not fucking with you, yo. No, but
exactly.
It's a burden, man. It's a grind.
But then I got older, and then I started seeing church differently, because then you get older, and then now you're viewing through your own eyes, because you start to grow and expand intellectually,
right,
as you learn and you're observing. And now, before, you just kind of went along whatever your parents said, whatever parents wanted you to
you
do.
ain't really have a
You're
choice.
seeing, it's like you're seeing the world through their eyes, or the eyes that they want you to see it from. It's like it's like your parents put on these little glasses and put them on your eyes until you get old enough to say, some kids younger than others go, what the fuck?
A whole new world.
yeah. And that's I don't want to segue into this, but a lot of like pastors' kids and church kids,
thoughts.
it's because their goggles are like on with a
glued
lock, and finally they find a key and take it off, and that whole new world.
Ooh, coochie.
Yeah,
niggas run to it.
They go crazy. Drugs, they're not so bad, okay?
So that's just like in this.
That's why I said
you have
a whole new and I always feel like that taught me a lesson, because I got older and start to see things, and I looked at church differently, because I start noticing some of these people in here are not authentic. And I started noticing, I'm like, why is this person? It felt like sometimes and I'm not even gonna say the church, but I felt like people were in a tongues battle. Like, and like, you don't even know that. Before, I used to laugh as a kid, but now it angers me, because I'm like, I don't think you're authentic.
Nah. I still haven't met nobody who could translate to what the speaking in tongues is, yo.
Yeah,
and I was heavy in the motherfucking streets,
because
dog.
I'm a kid. I was one of those kids that asked questions, yo, and I was like, what are you saying? It's like, I was touched by the Spirit, in that moment. It's like an out of body experience. I didn't even know I was there, and I was like, oh, okay. It seemed like it was very because I detect patterns. Like, there's a pattern to how you're doing this.
Oh yeah,
and I'm noticing it, which means that you're choosing to do it that way. So okay,
they two steps away from them. Go ahead.
That changed me. But yeah, that 2 steps, you can see it. That 2 steps from like making a whole soundtrack to it.
No, I was gonna say they 2 steps away from them Nigerian preachers that be slapping the shit out people. Like, if you gonna perpetrate a fraud like that, because they praise God, nigga. Where you believe, nigga? That shit be funny as hell. Like, when I first started seeing them speaking in tongues, I'd be like, oh, these people are talking to God. Like, I really believe, like, I was like, yo, they talking to angels. But then they'd be like, oh, and go outside and be like, what we about to do tonight?
But the thing is, the thing is, I don't disbelieve that that's not a possibility. It's just that I think that people want it to be them so bad that they'll freaking perpetrate that shit.
The niggas I seen speaking in tongues, I know there was a possibility they was lying, because they were. But God not gonna tell you to fuck another woman at the congregation. He not gonna.
Yeah, but I also didn't look at it as like, that's not really like, it just doesn't seem like feasible to even think like, I'm just gonna randomly just instill this, because there's really nothing to gain from that. You know what I mean?
Money.
That's not what
money, bro. Church is one of the
biggest that's what I'm saying. Like, you going around, I'm a Comcast, but Spectrum Tech here in North Carolina, and when I go do commercial work, a church is a commercial account.
It's a commercial family.
It's commercial. It's viewed as a business, and
they get tax breaks.
So I mean, but churches do get amenities that other businesses do not, because they're a church though too.
It's wild. So it's wild.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that I find my own spirituality within myself. I have my Bible, and I read the Bible on my own, and I just try to live by the morals that was instilled in me from my first 12 years going to church. Because just because I saw a lot of hypocrisies and like, facades in the church didn't mean that I didn't meet authentic, religious people.
who really were genuine.
Yeah, and I was able to, as I got older, filter them out. So now when I go to a church, that's why I say it's hard for me to find a church home until I find it, because I want to at least find a majority, and I want to see it the leadership of the church is genuine. And once I detect anything that seems slightly off or fraudulent, then I'm just gonna be like, this is not the church for me, deuces. Even though there's probably people in there that are genuine. But I just look at them like, if you're not seeing, if I just got here and I noticed it and you didn't, then I can't trust you either. Peace out.
Well, sometimes they stay. Well, sometimes they stay because they don't have anything else and they like the camaraderie there.
But
what? Go ahead.
And that's nice, But you could also fall into that. Remember, birds of a feather. Eventually, what you see is like, I won't let that affect my personal judgment. Eventually, it will. You know, if you hang out with the thief long enough, you'll find yourself stealing eventually.
Sure enough. But the thing that got me out of church, Elwin, going to church. I'm still a very heavily Christian, I guess you could say, Christian, morally based person. But the thing that got me out of church was I was very inquisitive as I turned into a teenager, and I started to realize that it was a lot of things that were taken out of the Bible. And when I started to ask my pastors and religious leaders, you doing that same side eye I do when my children come fucking with me on a video.
You saw that?
Yeah. When I started to ask them about, like, hey man, well, what about these excerpts that was taken out of the Bible? They would just they would either shun it or not have any answers for me. And it was a lot of the things about the wrath of God and the not so just or not so regal God that was presented in the original text of the Bible. Get away from here, Nick. Go. Tell them just go. Just tell them go, Edwin. And that would always be a point of contention for me. And then I found that it was best to just practice and operate in a religious room of my own. But we'll get off the Bible stick, man. We are baby's dick length away from an hour and a half. 30 seconds away.
My apologies on that. Sorry about that.
Okay,
I was trying real hard to be discreet, and I was like,
you can't be discreet. Sometimes you just gotta say, get the fuck out of here. Like last week, you saw my son almost hit me with a box of Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So, I know.
Hey, that was the episode I was posted. Yeah, I've gotten some feedback on that. Yeah, man. Some people found it endearing, so it didn't go over
we just
bad.
People, bro. We just people.
Yeah.
We just not Hollywood.
Hey, we're people just like you. Even time from now is not gonna change that. I'll tell you that right now.
No. We sell food stamps. We do all that shit, nigga. We just people. You feel me?
You know what we both have the most in common is that we won't allow our atmosphere to change our perception. No, we view the world through the eyes that we see with. We don't allow nobody to put those goggles on. I don't like it. I can't stand it. The moment that I realized that was a possibility is the moment when I actually became myself. And it was not an easy road for me, because I do create a lot of agitating situations because I'm so quick to speak my mind, and I don't always go over well.
But at least at the end of the day, people know where you stand, and they know it's genuine, for better or for worse.
And they know it's like, hey, if he's saying it, he's not saying something just to, I'm not trying to pull a wink over you. Nothing. It's like, that's just that's how I feel. Like, morally, I don't want to ever see myself over anyone else or see people beneath me in any way. I just see something that's wrong and I'm going to speak on it. Or if I see someone do something right, I want to praise on it. And that's just the way it is. You got to praise when you see somebody impress you. Anytime you say something impressive or something like that, I'm going to tell you,
It's a lot of jealousy in the world, bro.
Why I always thank you that you even chose me to be your partner in this, man.
This nigga said chose you like we fucking.
You chose me, bro. You chose me, bro.
Turn around, show me them butt cheeks there, nigga. If I chose you, nigga.
I don't love you that much, bro.
You are just as vital to this thing, man. If not more so, because all I do is get on here and talk. People, you guys don't know that the technical skill that my nigga Edwin got and the heart that he put into this shit and the text messages he sent me like, nigga, I've been here, nigga, where the fuck you at, nigga, be on time. And I think that's one of my problems, man, as a comedian. Like I've been doing I've been doing comedy for almost 7 years, and I still don't have a calendar up with my shows, and I'll forget and do things. And working with you has sort of helped me realize, like, yo, get on your fucking horse and take this shit seriously, you know. So I appreciate you for that, doggy.
Yeah. I am a creature of routine, man. I develop a routine and I like to stick to it. And I even critical of myself whenever I, because things happen, man. Life is life, man. You plan for things, and sometimes hurdles come, and sometimes you overcome them with ease, and sometimes they disrupt you a little bit. So anytime when I get disrupted from my plan, I am critical of the situation, and people around me usually don't like me when that happens because I'm like, yo, this supposed to do this, and things go by the wayside. You know what I mean? Like even right now, this is kind of out of the norm because it's 11. What time is it? I don't know what
midnight.
Time it is.
It's midnight.
But normally it'd be 4:30 right now.
Yeah, right.
When this is being recorded. But hey, as you can see, it didn't change how we
didn't change anything at
all. It's because
man.
you just roll with it, man. That's life, man. You roll
life.
with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why sometimes this is helping me understand. It's like, hey, man, life happens. You just got to roll with it and take the good with the bad and just keep it pressing.
That's all you can do, bro. Unless you're going to tap out and get that 356. And
because regardless, the show must go on, man. We committed to this. We doing this. If you guys watching these, just know we committed to this. Only way that we can continue to do this is you help spread the word and help us get out there, because we're going to continue doing this, and we're going to deliver true content. We ain't going to sit there and say what people want to hear. We're going to tell
Kardashian
you what you need
got
to hear.
ass shots this morning. We're not gonna come. And special shout out to my dog Edwin's cousin, man, Angel. I don't know Angel's last name.
Oh yeah, Angel Morales, man. That's my brother right there, yo. We cousins, but we grew up together too. We was literally in the same crib when we was babies.
Let him know everything Angel got in the shoot, man.
But yeah, but Angel is the man that you want to talk to. You have computer issues, blah. I mean, he knows technology in and out. Man has ideas. He's like a film editor that he doesn't realize that he could be directing movies. This dude is he's just sick with it. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be a big part of what we do moving forward. He's working on things for us now just to try to enhance this show for y'all.
Make this more sexy for you guys.
So just trust me. If you starting to hear us in the beginning, you guys are the originators, yo. Just check this out. You just keep spreading the word, putting it out there. On an episode to episode basis, you're going to start to notice improvements, and we're going to continue to improve, yo. The subject matter is going to be the same, but how we give it to you is going to be better. It's just going to be,
the presentation is going to be crisp.
It's just going to continue to get better. So I mean, this is what I'm happy about, that we started this, and moving forward, let's see where we can take it, man. Maybe we can make a real serious impact on the world, a positive one.
We will, brother. We will, and it sucks,
and bring some laughter too, and just know that I will say some crazy shit from time to time.
But you want to hear it anyway, you motherfucker.
I have no choice, yo. Hey, Sean, I have no choice. It be in my head. You saw that. I even cut you off where I was like, yo, to tell you that. And I don't even know where I came from with that 8 dick thing. I really don't know.
I see the vein in your face when you want to say something and you censor it, that shit get erect.
It's like, yo, I'm going like this. Is like, yo, I shouldn't say this, but I want to. It's like I had like this inner thing saying, say it. Just say it.
You got 2 devils on your shoulders poking you in the neck with the pitchfork.
It's like, yeah, I like to believe they're angels, Sean.
Nah, all right, nigga. I talk to you off the record. One of them niggas is a devil. At least one of them niggas is a devil. But guys, we're gonna wind this down, and we didn't even get to the fun shit, man. Next episode, we're gonna get to this fun shit off.
We're gonna have to start on that. I know what topic you mean, but we're gonna say that though. So you know, I think that's been two episodes now. We haven't got to it.
Yo, bro, we got through 3 subjects today. Believe it or not.
Yeah. But we actually added 2 we added 2 unknown subjects too, because we didn't think about talking about religion, and somehow we
where did that come from?
Yo, because we were talking about space.
Jeff Bezos.
I know what it was. We was talking about space and how it can impact and change once we realize that there's more worlds out there.
But we didn't even get to what, like, I wanted to talk about the colonization, and we just went straight to Jesus, nigga. Damn me. It's AG though, man.
It went exactly the way it was supposed to go.
Yeah, divine intervention.
Hey, just so y'all know, space exploration is real. It's happening. They're trying to colonize different
they Mars. Are colonizing it.
They're colonizing Mars. They're literally right now. Total Recall. The girl with 3 tits, she exists. It's there, yo. All you gotta do is like try to motorboat that. Yo, it's for real, y'all.
Hey, look,
so
if we see the girl with 3 titties, I'm sucking the left one, you sucking the right one. Who gonna suck? Angel gonna suck the middle one, nigga.
Yeah, he can have the middle one. Yeah, but you and him are married, so I think I'll just suck all 3 myself.
Oh yeah, I'm loud as hell. Hopefully my wife. Baby, I'm not sucking no titties. It's just Edwin's titties. Hey guys, but thank you for watching. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't. I think that you were supposed to stop me from saying that.
Yeah,
thank you. You saved me from myself just then.
That's my job, bro. Hey, Goobers, these bitches is good as hell. Give us a sponsorship, man.
That's what's up.
And guys, that's been another episode of the TLWSI Too Late We Said It podcast with my dog Edwin Nevado and myself, Sean Leverett. Make sure if you're watching this now, it should already be a full mentioned thought, but make sure you like us, you subscribe us, you share us, let people know, hey, I found this African American guy and this Hispanic guy to be talking shit on the internet all day. If we get enough likes,
correct Puerto Rican. You know?
Oh, I'm sorry. My wife Puerto Rican. She let me say Hispanic, so I'm probably ruining my relationship. If you get enough likes and subscribes, we'll add a white person. All right, so just come on. If you want true cultural integration, we'll bring a white person on for a couple episodes.
Yo, we will. We already got 2 in mind already, yo.
Who?
I didn't have one. You just fucking yo, just go with it, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna have Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro on next week.
Yeah. They already talked to me and approved, you know.
I fucked that up. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, man. You have a great this will air on a Sunday, so please have a great rest of your work week, man. And make sure you hop in the comments, let Edwin know what you think, let me know what you think, let the universe know what you think, and we'll be sure to get back at you and respond live in a video to let you know what we think about your comment, man. We so small enough where we can reach out and branch out and touch you. Not like that. We're not on our Epstein shit, but we'll touch you verbally and let you know it was in our mind and outside of our minds. You can get into our minds. For myself, thank you. I love you, Edwin. Let them know how you feel, Brody.
I feel great. This is wonderful. As you guys know, this is what I like to do, you know, to spark thought and like just get into this. And we're gonna keep doing this, yo, on a week-to-week basis. And then this could actually branch off into many other things. You know, we have ideas coming to our head, we're brainstorming. So support, yo. And all you gotta do, you don't even have to drop no cash. You just have to watch. And if you don't want to watch, share it. You might find someone that would like it. This might not be your cup of tea, and it's cool. But you might have a friend that might like it. So just share it, spread the word, let people decide for themselves. Watch what you do. And if you don't like what we're saying, put it in the comments. It was just remember, it's too late. We said it.
Peace.